Okay, this is part 2 of part B of question 7 of the WJEC Additional Maths 2015 paper. And part 1 we had to show that x minus 2, x minus 2 was a factor. And then it says hence factorise. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. When we factorise this cubic, we're going to end up with 3 sets of brackets, with x plus or minus something, x plus or minus something, and x plus or minus something. Okay, so this is what we're going to end up with. This is our goal. And it's our job to find these 3 numbers. Okay, we know what the first factor is. We know it's x minus 2. Because when you factorise, these brackets are factors. And we've already shown in part 1 of part B that x minus 2 was a factor. So what we've got to do is find these other 2. And this is the method that I've shown you. Basically, we know that if I multiply the linear factor that we know by a quadratic, call it ax squared plus bx plus c, then this times this quadratic will equal our cubic. We are going to try and find this quadratic, or we're going to find this quadratic, and then we're going to factorise it like we would do in normal GCSE, and then we'll have our other 2 brackets. So that's the method. So what do we do now? Well, we multiply x minus 2 by ax squared plus bx plus c. So first of all, times it all by x, and that gives us a x cubed plus bx squared plus cx. Nice and easy. And then times it all by minus 2. So we have minus 2ax squared minus 2bx and minus 2c. So I've expanded those pair of brackets. Now we collect like terms. Well, there's only one x cubed term, so that stays as it is, ax cubed. There is a x squared term there and an x squared term there. So I can collect these 2. So I'm going to put my little bubble around them. One there and one there. Now, remember b and a are just numbers, represent just numbers. So if I was to put those together, then I would get b minus 2a. So whatever b would be, take away 2 times whatever a is, would give me my number that I would need of x squareds. So you just put that b and that minus 2a together in brackets. The same with the x term. We have an x term there and an x term here. So that plus cx minus 2bx will be c minus 2bx. And then we just have minus 2c left on the end. Right, now this is where we do something called comparing coefficients. So underneath our expanded answer, we write down the original cubic expression. So we have x cubed plus 8x squared. So write them underneath, plus x minus 42. So I've spaced that out so that it's pretty much in line with the correct term above. Now we can see from comparing the coefficient of the original cubic and the coefficient of my expanded that a must equal whatever's in front of x cubed there. Well, there's nothing there, which means 1. So a is 1. Okay, so that a in front of that x cubed after I expanded would be equal to the coefficient of the original expression. And there's a 1 there, so a is equal to 1. That's what we're doing by comparing coefficients. So now we compare b minus 2a with 8. Well, b minus 2a must be equal to 8. We know a is 1 from looking at that first coefficient there. So b minus 2 times 1, that's just 2. b minus 2 is 8, so b is obviously 10. Because 10 minus 2 is 8. So we have b. Now c, the easiest way to see, we could use c minus 2b, because you know what b is, and we could do a similar thing there and work out c, but the easiest one is to look at the constant term. Minus 2c equals minus 42. So that minus 2c represents the constant term on the end, and that will equal the constant term in our original expression. Because if we multiply the linear and the quadratic, all of this has to equal our original cubic. So if minus 2c is minus 42, dividing both sides by minus 2, we get 21, plus 21. Because a minus divided by a minus is a plus, and 42 divided by 2 is 21. So there's our three values. So now we have this, x minus 2. Instead of ax squared plus bx plus c, I now put my numbers in. Instead of ax squared, I know a is equal to 1, so it's 1x squared. Well, that's just x squared, we don't write the 1. Instead of bx, I know b is 10, and that's a positive 10, so it's plus 10x. And instead of c, that's a positive 21, so that's plus 21. So there's my quadratic. So that was my aim, is to work out what would the quadratic be that these other two brackets that I've got to find multiply to equal. Well, they would equal x squared plus 10x plus 21. So now all I need to do now is factorise that expression into the two brackets I want. Now we know it's going to be x in both. The two numbers in there, the product is 21, and their sum is the number in front of x, the coefficient of x, is 10. So what two numbers do I need to put in here, multiply to equal 21, add up to equal 10? Well, let's go through the factors of 21. We've got 1 times 21. No, I can't make 10 with those. 2 times something. No. 3 times 7 is 21. Oh, yeah, I can make a 10 with 3 and 7. So it's plus 3 plus 7. I could have put plus 7 and plus 3 there. It doesn't matter which side I put them. So let's double check. 3 7s are 21, and 3 plus 7 is 10. And there is my final answer. There are my